Yeah, grew up with dogs all my life. Always had dogs.
Berns lives with his own pack.
All right, this is Cato. He's a plot hound, but he likes balls. He also is known as Sir Bark-a-Lot. We have Argo, the yellow dog. Finally, we have Thor, the German Shepherd. Hey, come on, go, 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 go.
And then there is Callie, the rat terrier, adopted from a shelter at 9 months.
I say, truthfully, that Callie has changed my life. I went to Mark, who I knew from training our other dogs, and I said, do you think we could figure out a way to train dogs to go in the scanner?
Suddenly, Berns went from studying humans
You get one for watching too.
to this.
Callie just happened to be available.
Berns built an MRI simulator in his basement.
She enjoyed it, I enjoyed it, and then it actually worked. Let's do some training. That's when it took over my life.
Berns founded the Dog Project to research evolutionary questions about man's best and oldest friend. Dogs are the first domesticated animal. Sorry, cats. When humans finally put down roots and began living in communities thousands of years ago, our relationship with dogs began.
When people started settling down, the wolves that were hanging around eventually turned into the dogs. And nobody knows how exactly that happened. But the end result is that the animals that became dogs have properties that we selected for living with us. These are the animals that we either purposely selected or they self-selected for wanting to be with us. First, probably for the food that we gave them, but very quickly for companionship.
Researchers have found graves of early humans buried with their dogs. This is a 12,000-year-old tomb from North Israel showing a woman with her hand resting on her dog. The bond was there then, and 12,000 years later, Berns was going to decipher it.
The military started funding the project and funded it for roughly 6 years.
Over 8 years, Berns and Spivak have trained over 100 dogs for the MRI, to wear protective earplugs, to lie down, to put their head in a chin rest, to be still for minutes at a time, to get used to the noise of the scanner.
We're the first to train dogs to go in an MRI, completely awake, unrestrained, meaning no leashes, no straps or anything, and collect usable data from their brains while they're engaged in an actual task. And Callie was the first dog to do that. I still remember the first day that we did that first scan with Callie.
We judge dogs by breed, by their looks, by their behavior. Berns' research eliminated the external, going straight to the ultimate source, their brains, discovering the truth of how dogs see, interact, and feel about the world and us.
They perform jobs for us that no other animal does. They detect explosives, they detect drugs, they search for missing persons, they detect bodies, they detect cancer. We ask them to do all sorts of things. And so, again, we don't know how they're doing it. We really don't have a clue. They help people. They act as assistance dogs, emotional support animals, service dogs.
In the 8 years since he founded the Dog Project, Berns has given dog lovers around the world an unprecedented look inside the brains of dogs.
Something like 80 million households in this country have dogs. You know, almost half the households in this country have a dog. So they are incredibly important to people. We expend a lot of money on them. Many of us treat them like family members, and so it's like, why wouldn't you want to know something more about a family member that you live with, that you share your bed with?